the far left and the round on the far right are graded the same, they should be valued differently based upon their apparent color strength in the face-up direction. So in this example, the heart-shaped stone is near the lower or middle end of the fancy intense pink grade range, and the round stone on the far right is near the upper end of the fancy intense pink grade range. Let's take another example. Here we're looking at 4 fancy deep blue diamonds. Now these so-called navy blue or sapphire blue colored diamonds are extremely rare and extremely valuable, in the range of $300,000 to $400,000 per carat. However, as an investor, if you are only armed with a laboratory report stating that the color grade is fancy deep blue for all of these 4 diamonds, my question to you is, how are you going to decide which stone is the best value for the price being asked? Well, again, the answer lies in going one step beyond the written laboratory report and measuring the color, and then ascertaining how well the cutter has brought that inherent body color into the face-up direction, creating a miniature work of art. Well, in this case, the small round blue stone actually has the best color according to the color measurement data. It's the most saturated. It has the highest level of saturation, meaning that it has actually significantly more boron impurities in its atomic structure, which is quite rare in nature, and thus it is a rarer and a more valuable specimen than the other 3 deep blue stones. Now, don't misunderstand me here. All of these fancy deep blue diamonds in this photograph here are exceptionally rare and highly valuable diamonds, ranging from 1/4 of a carat up to 1 carat in size. I am merely pointing out to the discriminating collector and investor that with the aid of modern technology, such as a colorimeter, one is now able to make a more informed decision as to which stone might be rarer, which stone might be more saturated in color, which stone was cut better, and ultimately which stone might perform better as an investment over the long term based on color measurement, which is not readily available to the general public. Now, since we are limited for time, it's really not possible for in one lecture or even with one single color slide to show you every possible combination of color that exists in natural color diamonds, so that your color memory can have a visual point of reference for what nature has provided for in diamonds, or to show you which stones are at the so-called top of their respective color grade range. However, we can begin to organize the colors in diamonds into a meaningful order, what I refer to in my book as classifying colored diamonds. Now, after measuring the color of several thousand colored diamonds with a modern gemstone colorimeter and plotting the data on 2-dimensional color charts and graphs, it became quite clear to me that the colored diamond puzzle could be organized into discrete regions of color. Now, independently, these regions appear as perceptively different colors, what are known as color varieties. Now, this photo here shows all the 14 color varieties that are currently known to exist in natural diamonds. And it shows how each color is visually different from the others. From left to right, we see black, gray, pink, white, orange, brown, yellow, colorless, olive, red, green, violet, blue, and purple. Now, what is so fascinating about this photo of the color varieties is that 5 years ago, in 1997, when at the time I was finishing writing my book, I had not even seen a true violet diamond. No one had ever seen a true violet diamond. Therefore, at that time, I said in my book that violet only occurs as a secondary color modifier in certain gray diamonds. And it was only a few years later that I had the good fortune to actually study the first true pure violet diamond, which you see on the screen here, thus adding one more color to the list of diamond color varieties and increasing our understanding of these rare and mysterious gems. Now, as a special treat, Pasteur Genève has made arrangements to have this color variety collection that you see in front of you on this slide available for an up-close inspection after this talk if you would like. Now, in my personal opinion, and I've been looking at colored diamonds now for over 23 years, seeing this collection up close is the experience of a lifetime. I know for a fact that many diamond dealers who deal in colorless diamonds and been in the business for generations have never, ever seen a collection like this. A collection that shows one outstanding example from each of the known color varieties all at the same time. Now, realizing that the majority of natural colored diamonds do not exhibit these 14 colors in their purest form, as we just saw, it then becomes quite a challenge to decide what other colors are mixed with the main color. This next step often requires the use of color measurement or even color comparison stones for recognizing and describing the various secondary color modifiers. Here in this slide, we're looking at a magnificent group of natural green diamonds, which all have different color grades based on the fact they have different secondary color modifiers. For example, from left to right, we see a round, colorless diamond, which is the reference diamond. Next to that, the marquee-shaped stone is a fancy, intense yellow-green, meaning it's green, but it's got a lot of yellow mixed in with it. The round stone next to that is a fancy deep green, so it's a pure green, but it's a little darker and quite saturated. And the other round on the far side of the right is a fancy, intense yellowish green. It has a little yellow mixed in there. Now here is a photograph of one of the most famous green diamonds in the world. This is the 41-carat Dresden green diamond, which there's a replica of it on the back table along with other famous diamonds in museums around the world. This actually is the largest natural green diamond in the world, and it was actually purchased by a gentleman named Frederick Augustus II. He was the Elector of Saxony during the mid-18th century, and he bought it at a place called the Leipzig Fair in 1743. This stone today resides in the green vaults inside the Albertina Museum in Dresden, Germany. Now in this picture here, I've selected 5 pink variety diamonds. They're all pink, each with different color modifiers, and they all have different color grades. The cushion triangle stone on your left is a fancy intense pink. It's a pure pink. The marquee next to it is an intense orangish pink. It's got a little tinge of orange in it. The large emerald cut in the center is an intense purplish pink, meaning it's got a little purple mixed in. And the large pear shape on the right is a purple pink, meaning it's got a large amount of purple mixed with the pink. And the small oval stone in the front right was actually graded fancy deep pink. However, when I got a hold of the stone and I measured it, the color measurement revealed that this gem has a color that approaches red. So therefore, this oval stone is best described or best graded as a fancy deep reddish pink. Certainly a rare and valuable variation within the deep colored grade range. Now by comparison, if we look at this cushion-shaped pure pink diamond set in this ring, this stone was graded fancy vivid pink. Now while it is a lovely pink diamond and a rare and valuable commodity, its actual strength of pink color places it closer to the fancy intense grade range. Hence, if one was considering this gem as a long-term investment, one should take this into consideration. Now, if we take this example one step further, we really can appreciate the differences in lightness and saturation between 3 different pure blue diamonds. Here we're looking at 3 outstanding examples of natural blue diamonds. The cushion shape on the left is a fancy intense blue. The pear shape in the center is a fancy vivid blue. And the oval on the right is a fancy deep blue. Now, eventually, as your eyes and your color memory become more familiar with color grade differences in diamonds, you will eventually feel confident to compare and contrast diamonds within the same color grade in terms of their actual color differences and in terms of their apparent color difference. Now, by actual color, I'm referring to the inherent body color of the stone, and by the apparent color, I'm referring to comparing their face-up color of each stone. Now for those who collect colored diamonds, and those people who invest in colored diamonds, and even for those who buy and sell them, those who cut them, or even people who appraise them, it becomes an ever-increasing challenge to recognize the following points. Number 1, what color variety does the diamond belong to? Number 2, to recognize if there are any secondary color modifiers present. Number 3, try to ascertain the inherent lightness and the inherent saturation of a stone. And number 4,